Hello there YouTube, and welcome to the next of my Nebula class Starship updates. Proceeded pretty well over the last week or so. Managed to get all of the main parts glued together and painted up, all the parts you can see. Managed to get the nacelle stuck together. These are the resin parts from Federation models, and then started to play around with a bit of pastels to get the battle damage in place. And then I got the soldering iron out, which managed to do this in a well ventilated room. Always make sure you do that. And after building my Battlestar Galactica model, I had the confidence to do this. So basically applied a bit of damage. Here you can see a bit of the damage from the resin cracking. And this is just to give you a comparison against a Galaxy class Starship. This is the primary hull. Now you can see I've cut sections out of it. Again, this is using the soldering iron and a bit of brute force here and there. But the idea is it's going to be either battle damaged or on the verge of blowing up under repair. Still not quite sure yet. But it's coming together pretty nicely. And again, this is just held together with a bit of masking tape, just to sort of give you a brief overview of how big the ship looks. It looks pretty impressive actually. I think the Nebula class is highly underrated and understated. You don't see a lot of them around these days. Obviously we glued on better than that eventually, but this is where the damage comes into its own a bit. I think I'm going to be able to see straight through the hull in certain locations, so that light blue bit is going to disappear. But the idea being to try and sort of show some of the internal structure and workings along the rib lines. It's a nice big kit which hopefully will allow us to get some workings in there, get some greebles built using plasticard, drill these little holes out, and need to sort of actually get on and do that next. That's the next part of the model build. So this is the deflector glued on, painting of the nacelles all coming together. So it's looking quite impressive, I think, overall. Need to do a bit of touch up. This is the Aztecing has been painted on. Used a bit of pastel again just to sort of give an impression of how the eventual battle damage is going to look. But broadly speaking, it's starting to come on its own. So the next steps after this would be to gloss coat it all up, leave it to dry for a few days, and then apply the decals. So in that sense, that's where the fun begins. But I wasn't quite prepared for what happened next. We had problems. These are the decals I bought for the kit many moons ago. There's another video I did on this previously. If you haven't seen that, there's a link above. But these are 1400 scale decals. I actually bought this set off of JT Graphics. This is the Bellerophon Nebula specific kit decals that I intended to use. The trouble is, they were so old that they all cracked and completely fell apart. So I had a cunning plan, and that was to rename the ship the Honshu.
Captain's log, stardate 51408.6. I've been aboard the Honshu for 2 days now, and I still haven't spoken.
This is the first time we see the Honshu. So I used spare decals in essence, so I applied a few of them here and there just to make sure it all works okay. And so far so good. So the Bellerophon is now the Honshu. So we'd love to hear from you. Click on the subscribe link above, or like or leave a comment, or if you haven't seen it, watch the previous video. Thanks, bye bye.